You are in a cage of your own creation, with the doors wide open. So many people want to justify why they are where they are, why they can't escape, why they can't get out of this situation. I don't have time, I don't have the money, I don't have the opportunity, the equipment, the setup, the whatever the reason might be. I just can't. You're in a prison of your own creation, and you're the prison guard keeping you locked away. You have all the options, you have the choices. They just might not be palatable. You might not want to make them, but at any point, you can change your reality. Remember, your reality is a creation of your thoughts, your habits, and your actions. You know, I don't have time because of my job. Well, you could quit your job. I'm not saying that's the answer. I'm not saying that's the solution. But your reality is your reality by the choices that you make. You can change it at any point. It's whether where you are right now is bad enough for you to willingly pay the price to change it. And most of the time, I think most people will put up walls that are false anyway. They will create reasons and justifications around where they are just because it's comfortable. We spoke about this the other day, and it's a conversation that seems to keep coming up at the moment, that people aren't willing to admit even to the problems and the issues in their life, because it means admitting that you were wrong. It means admitting that you made the wrong choices along the way. That what you have been doing has fucked your life up, has caused you to reach these moments. And that's a hard fucking conversation to have. I get that. It hurts. It's uncomfortable as shit. When I was 30 kilos overweight, I didn't want to have the conversation that this was all my fault. But it sure as shit wasn't anyone else's fault. And the same applies to you. If you aren't happy, if you hate the man in the mirror, if you're disgusted with how you look, you lack the confidence, you're ashamed to take your shirt off, hell, you might not even want to have sex with your wife because why would she be turned on by you? All these kinds of things. That's your fault. And that's a really, really uncomfortable conversation. One that I had to have. And then, as I said before, though, it's also an empowering one if you can get uncomfortable. Because now that you've admitted that it's all your fault, well, now you can take control. Now you can do something about it. Because if it's not your fault, it's not within your control. And look, people are going to argue the extremes on this one, and they always do. You know, I had a guy who was like, well, I got hit by a car because a guy ran a red light. Is that my fault? No, mate, that's not your fault. You're right. That one isn't your fault. But if you become a victim, if you then tell the world that you can't do the things that you want to do or need to do or anything like that because you got hit by a car, well, it is your fault now. If you stay stuck in the victimhood of, woe is me, this happened to me, then it is your fault. Don't get me wrong, that's a horrendous thing. Traumatic as fuck. But you're in control of what happens next. You're in control around the narrative that played out that way. You know, my son was born 8 weeks early. It was horrendous. It was one of the most awful times we've ever gone through. You know, he was taken away from us for 2 weeks. My son was alive for 2 weeks before I got to meet him because it was during COVID. And they deemed that we'd been in close contact. Therefore, we couldn't see him. Awful, awful fucking experience. And My son I'm reasonably certain, separation anxiety from this now. And we could be like, woe is us, the medical system fucked us, oh, this all happened, so sad for us. Or we could be like, our son's safe place is us. If he needs to be safe and comfortable with us, so be it. If he needs to sleep in our bed, great. That kid's going to grow up knowing that he is loved beyond all fucking measure. You can either be a victim of your circumstances, or you can choose to change how you view it. You can choose to change the narrative around it. You know, why did he come early? Oh, it was really hard. Oh my goodness, it's all this kind of thing. I think he came early because he's a giant fucking kid. Honest to God, I believe that's exactly why it was. And he came early to protect my wife and him from something truly horrendous happening, like one of them dying. That's how I view it. Because the doctors told us that he was so little when he was born that if he reached the bottom 3 percentile by the time he was 3 years old, they'd be stoked. They'd be over the moon. That would be the best thing ever. He reached the 98th percentile before his 3rd birthday. He's huge. He's got bigger feet than his sister, who's 2 years older than him. He's just going to be a big fucking kid. And my wife is tiny. My wife is 5 foot on a good day. You can be a victim of your circumstances and you can let it define you. Or you can choose to change the narrative and determine the outcome for you. It's how you choose to view it. It's how you choose to tell the story. It's how you choose to live it out. To be honest, this is not the not the talk I had planned in my head, but I think that's the one we need to hear. That you need to take responsibility for your choices. It really is that simple. That you have to go, I made these choices. Good, bad, or otherwise. And you can't change it. You can't go back in time and change where you are. You can't go back in time and be like, oh, I can do better. You probably could have, you probably should have, but here we are now. Now we deal with where we're at. Now we move forward. Sometimes you just need to admit that the choices that you made were wrong. The choices that you made were fucked up. That's okay. As long as you go forward now and do better. As long as you make better choices now. That's where everything's going to improve from. That's how you get better in this life. Plain and simple. You start making better choices. But making changes and admitting that you are wrong is the starting point. And as you do that, as you push forward, as you make better life choices, unfortunately, I think you'll find that you're going to come up against other people who don't want to face their demons, who don't want to admit they're wrong. As you elevate and you change and you make better life choices, there are going to be people in your life who are going to bring you down. They're going to try and sabotage you. And it might be subtle or it might be really fucking blatant. But people are going to try and sabotage you. And I have yet to meet anyone who makes drastic fucking changes in their life who doesn't have this happen. And the reason why this happens is because you hold up a mirror to the choices that they make. You are holding up that they could do better, that they should be doing better, but they're not making those choices. They're not making those decisions towards being a better version of themselves. And that's really uncomfortable. When you break out of wherever you've been and you have the similar backstory, people are going to be like, oh, well, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe this is too much. because it validates their choices. I had a friend who was very kind with her words, and we have a mutual friend of ours who they were like, oh, I think they envy your consistency. I think they envy everything that you are. That's why they don't want to interact with it anymore. And I was like, really? Because our friend is a badass. Like, we're fucking in awe of them most of the time. But multiple times, they've said to us, they've said publicly, they're going to make this big step forward. And they don't follow through. And though we have the highest admiration for this friend, we've now decided they're not a man of their word because they keep talking about it and never doing anything about it. As I've said many times before, demanding greatness is more than fitness. The majority of it is becoming a man of your word. It's the follow through. It's the consistency. And look, sometimes I will raise my hand and I think that I am not good enough on that front. I will raise my hand and say that I think I should do better. I should be better. I feel like I'm lacking and it eats away at me. Like it really does. But part of this was to have the social proof that I show up every fucking day. No matter what. You've seen it. You can go back through my backlog. There are 450 days of this. I am here every fucking day and I do the work and I'm a man of my word. And yeah, as I said, it eats away at me in the other areas where I feel like I'm lacking. It eats away at me when I'm like, oh, I should do better, be better, live better in other areas. But there is enough credibility, there is enough proof, there is enough here to show that I am a man of my word. And I think that's the greatest honor that you can have, especially as a father, especially as a business owner, especially as a man, a husband, any of these areas, that you need to be a man of your word. And it takes so much longer than it should to become that. But part of that is also recognizing when you're talking bullshit. When you go, I don't have time. When you go, I don't have the money. When you go, I don't have the capacity. All that's saying to the world is that I am not a man of my word. All that's saying to the world is I don't believe in my own follow through to do what I say I will do. That's it. I'm not a man of my word because I am not willing to put up whatever the cost is. And remember, it's never a cost if you follow through. It's only a cost if you don't get the result. If you shut up and put up and follow through and get the result, that's an ROI. That's a return on investment. That didn't cost you anything. You gained from that. You invested into you and you got the return. That's an investment. That's not a cost. But if you say, I don't have these things, you could figure it the fuck out. If you believed in it enough and believed in yourself enough that you were a man of your word and that you would do it, the price wouldn't matter. Because it's just an investment into getting exactly what you want. The price is only, whether it's time, money, effort, intensity, whatever it might be, the price of that is only ever too much if you don't believe in you. You don't trust your own word that you will do the work. That's when the price is too high. Because otherwise it's just an investment. Because I'm telling you, if you pay and invest in yourself, you will get the fucking result. I will ensure it. The only gap is between you and you. You will get the result. I will change your life. The gap is whether you believe that you'll follow through and do it. Whether you are a man of your word. That's the difference. That's the separator. So my question becomes, Are you putting up excuses as to why you don't have the capacity? Why the price is too high for you to reach and have everything that you want out of this life? Or are you willing to invest into you? You're willing to believe in yourself that you're a man of your word, and you're willing to follow the fuck through and do what you say. Because I'll hold you to that standard. I'll hold your feet to the fire, and I will make sure that you get everything you want out of this. You just got to invest in you. So if you're ready for that, click the link in my bio. Let's get you into demanding greatness. Let's see who you can be on the other side of that. Can't wait to see you there.